Zambia's boards. Stories told by Zambians.
Good evening and welcome to the Bmtv main news at 18 hours. Thank you for joining us for a comprehensive roundup of the day's top stories from Zambia, across Africa and around the world. We're broadcasting on Topstar Channel 114, live on Facebook as Bmtv Channel 114, live on YouTube as Bmtv Zambia, and you can stream on www.bmtv.com. We bring you the news that matters the most, and tonight we unpack the latest developments in politics, business, current affairs and sports while keeping you informed and connected to the nation. Let's take a look at the headlines. Improved livestock movement rules to boost sector by 610 million kwacha annually. Government reaffirms commitment to strengthening school feeding program. Vice President Nalumango hails fiscal discipline under UPND New Dawn administration. While in international news, South Africa deploys police to curb unrest as unofficial deadline expires. And in sports, Hakimi hails Morocco's spirit after Dutch triumph. To present the news in detail, my name is Tamwani Nkata. The Central Veterinary Research Institute says improved animal movement and transport regulations could generate 610 million kwacha annually for Zambia's livestock sector. The announcement was made during a courtesy call on Lusaka Province Permanent Secretary Engineer Joe Kalusa ahead of a Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock consultative meeting. Engineer Kalusa said the livestock sector remains a key pillar of Zambia's agricultural economy, contributing to food and nutrition security, employment, household incomes, poverty reduction, and economic growth. He noted that Lusaka's strategic location and extensive road network make it the country's main consumer market and a key transit corridor for livestock from across Zambia. More details in the following report.
Zambia's agricultural economy contributing significantly to food and nutrition, safety, employment creation, household incomes, poverty reduction, and economic growth. Livestock plays an important role in supporting rural livelihood and supplying quality animal protein to the growing urban population. I would like to stress that Lusaka Province occupies a unique and strategic position within Zambia's livestock value chain. Lusaka is the country's largest consumer market and a major destination for cattle, goats, sheep, pigs, poultry, and wide range of livestock products originating from all provinces.
And the government has reaffirmed its commitment to strengthening school feeding programs through strategic partnerships aimed at improving education, nutrition, and child welfare across Zambia. Speaking during the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Education and Food for Education Foundation Zambia in Lusaka, Permanent Secretary for Administration at the Office of the Vice President leading systems that enhance learning outcomes, particularly for vulnerable learners. She noted that ensuring children have access to nutritious meals at school is key to improving attendance, concentration, and academic performance. Meanwhile, the Presidential Delivery Unit has pledged to support the implementation and monitoring of the partnership to ensure it delivers tangible results. Head of Presidential Delivery Unit, Kubosovile Kawambi, said the agreement reflects government's commitment to delivering measurable outcomes in the education sector through effective collaboration. Ministry of Education Permanent Secretary for Education Services Kelvin Mambwe described school feeding as a strategic investment that extends beyond education, contributing to improved health, agricultural development, and economic growth. He said the initiative will play a vital role in building human capital while supporting local food systems. And Food for Education Foundation Zambia founder and Chief Executive Officer Wawiraru Nguri, said the organization has spent the past 14 years refining its school feeding model through practical experience meals for thousands more learners and help transform educational outcomes across the country. More details in the following clip.
What we are doing right now is trying to create a hub of excellence. We want others to come and learn from us. I know we are learning from Kenya right now, and I believe the PS was also in Ireland at some point. We're learning from everywhere, but I think in the southern region, we can become a hub of excellence on how we make all this work together. We can be the hub of excellence for the nexus in the education system that brings together food, it brings together health, it brings together technology, it brings together water, sanitation issues, and make that all work together for quality education. I'm a firm believer that we are onto something here. We heard from the young ladies that were performing this morning a different aspect that the free education policy is bringing, which is the social cohesion, the strengthening of values. This is all happening and is being made possible because of free education. We can see that they're demonstrating that, look, we are remembering our values. We have seen that the numbers in terms of early childhood marriage are also going down. This is all the social cohesion that this program is bringing together, the civic education that is happening. You can already see the quality of education that is coming up from the 10-year-old Faith that we saw today. I think the team deserves a big round of applause.
Vice President Mtalena Lumango says Zambia's economy under the previous regime had plummeted to the extent of the country failing to negotiate with lenders on the need to restructure the debt. Ms. Nalumango attributed the situation to lack of fiscal discipline, which also resulted in the previous regime failing to complete various projects. She said apart from failing to complete the projects, the previous regime also failed to sustain the mining industry, resulting in closure of some of the mining companies. She was speaking on Hot FM Radio's Hot Seat program in Lusaka. The vice president said economic reforms introduced by President Hakainde Hichilema have resulted in the resuscitation of the mining industry. She cited the liquidation of Konkola copper mines, which resulted in prolonged court cases, and the departure of Glencore from Mopani copper mines as economic sabotage under the previous government. More details in the following clip.
Some people don't have jobs, even though under this government transfer. This is a social protection to protect the very least vulnerable people. Ukwafuwa kwa balechula, abashikwete nchito, abakote, abakalamba, nabena, you give them what is called social cash transfer. But they are able to have just the basic things for their livelihoods. This is social protection. This is money going directly to the people. Whether you like it or not, there is the cash for work. This is for the strong in our communities that may not have jobs. They can work. It's a kind of piecework. They can work. But this money is coming from government to the people for public works. And if we are doing well, I am aware that some councils are controlled by opposition. Maybe they didn't even use it properly. But this is cash for work for the young people, still strong. Even old, you don't refuse them if they are able. You don't reject them if they are able to work. This is money going to the people directly from government to cushion the impact of the cost of living. Believe you me, the free education, we can talk about free education and the impact on the youth. But let me talk about free education with the impact on the family. This is also to cushion, Chisha, this is to cushion some families who cannot afford, whose children could not go to school because they had no money. These are some of the cares that this government brings to the people that are extremely vulnerable. But you don't say, don't save, give out everything. Come on, what irresponsibility is that for anybody who says, well,
the opposition haven't said they want
to balance. And how long is this going to help the Zambians? You are simply saying in Natulie, For example, we went through a terrible drought, Jisha. You remember the 2023-2024 drought. We had to run back and use the money to ensure nobody dies of hunger. Right now, you can say a crisis. If we had the money and the people are dying from hunger to look at. But in the manner our poverty is.
In more local news, Tonse Alliance Finance Chairperson Mutotwe Kafwaya has apologized for remarks questioning the need for an international airport in Western Province, saying he regrets the language he used and has withdrawn these statements. Speaking during a phone interview on Bulozi TV's Wusile Good Morning Breakfast show, Mr. Kafwaya said his comments did not reflect the respect he has for the people. Additional apology. The apology follows strong criticism from the Barotse royal establishment, which demanded that Mr. Kafwaya retract his remarks and issue a formal written apology. Addressing the media at Namu Kuta in Limulunga district on Tuesday 30th, Ngambela Mukela Manyando said the comments were inconsistent with Zambia's One Zambia, One Nation principle and undermined the province's aspirations for development. He added that the people of Western Province have waited long enough for meaningful development and should no longer be treated as an afterthought. More details, courtesy Bulozi TV.
That the selection of my words was not the best. To that effect, I thought. But I grew up in Livingstone among the Lozi-speaking people. And I went to Mambova, I went to Kazungula, I went to Sesheke, when the roads were so good. Today, my people, I don't know how long it would take you to drive from Kazungula to Sesheke. Things are so bad. So what I am saying is this. I regret the selection of words which I used, and I retract them, and I apologize without any reservation. The Lozi kingdom is my kingdom, and I have strong and sincere respect for the people of the Lozi land. Minaba to Akwabulozi, you are our people, you are my people, and I love and respect. The truth is that the words I used, you may consider forgiving me so that we move forward as one people. I thought I should call in and just apologize to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Though you called at in the dying minutes of the program, we did have a lot of questions, but is it okay probably if we can still call you back tomorrow and just to talk about one or two things?
Yes, if you find it necessary, I am readily available.
All right. Thank you so very much for calling us this morning.
Pleasure.
Sure.
The Zambia Police Service has launched investigations into two separate murder cases recorded in Kaputa District and Mazabuka District, with one incident linked to be suspected political violence. Police say Humphrey Luisha, a UPND supporter from Shadrick Village, was allegedly killed during a clash between UPND and National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity supporters at Pump House Village in Kaputa District on June 29th. According to preliminary investigations, the deceased was part of the group. According to preliminary investigations, the deceased was part of the group of UPND supporters who traveled from Kaputa Boma to Pump House Village, where they encountered the NRP-UP supporters at a drinking place. A fight allegedly broke out, during which Luisha was stabbed in the head. He was rushed to Kaputa District Hospital but was pronounced dead on arrival. His body has been deposited in the hospital mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Police have arrested 10 suspects in connection with the incident, while investigations continue to identify and apprehend other people believed to have been involved. Reinforcements have also been deployed to Kaputa district to maintain peace and order. A statement from the police.
The Zambia Police Service in Kaputa District, Northern Province, has recorded a murder case that occurred on June 29, 2026, around 1935 hours at Pump House Village. The incident was reported to Kaputa Police Station by Joseph Chileshe, age 36, of Kaputa Boma. It is alleged that Humphrey Luisha, a supporter of the United Party for National Development (UPND) from Shadrach Village, was killed following a clash between supporters of the United Party for National Development (UPND) and the National Reconciliation Party for Unity and Prosperity (NRPUP). Preliminary investigations show that a group of UPND supporters, including the deceased, traveled from Kaputa Boma to Pump House Village. On arrival, they met NRPUP supporters at a drinking place where a fight broke out. During the fight, Humphrey Luisha was allegedly stabbed in the head. He was rushed to Kaputa District Hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. The body has been deposited in the hospital mortuary awaiting a post-mortem examination. Police have opened investigations. 10 suspects have been apprehended and are in custody, while efforts continue to identify and arrest others involved. Police reinforcements have been deployed to Kaputa district to maintain peace and order. The Zambia Police Service strongly condemns the violence and urges members of the public to remain calm and cooperate with investigations. In a separate incident, the Zambia Police Service in Mazabuka District, Southern Province, is investigating a murder case involving a 31-year-old man who was allegedly attacked by unknown persons. The matter was reported to Chivuna Police Post under Mazabuka Central Police Station on June 30, 2026 at 01:20 hours. The incident is believed to have occurred between 22 hours on June 29, 2026 and 01 hours on June 30, 2026 at a campaign camp in Chivuna. The report was made by Confucius Mwene, age 52, an independent aspiring member of parliament for Magoye East constituency, who reported the death of his driver, Stanley Sakala, age 31, of Lusaka. Preliminary investigations show that the two returned to the campaign camp after a program and parked their vehicle. Later, at around midnight, a struggle was heard from the deceased room. He was later found lying in a pool of blood. Police officers rushed to the scene and found the body lying on the floor with a deep cut on the neck. The body has been taken to Mazabuka General Hospital mortuary awaiting post-mortem examination. Investigations are ongoing to establish the circumstances and arrest the suspects responsible. The Zambia Police Service will provide further updates as investigations continue. Thank you.
We take our first commercial break, and when we return, international news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're still watching the Bmtv main news at 18 hours with me, Tamani Nkata. South African police were deployed to head off unrest and protest today, the unofficial deadline set by citizen-led groups for the undocumented foreign nationals to leave that has already been pushed thousands to flee. Officers were out in force to prevent violence and looting, while hundreds of foreign nationals took refuge in several cities, urgently seeking help to leave. At least 2 Mozambicans, an Ethiopian and a Malawian, have been killed in an anti-immigrant violence over recent weeks. Several African governments have organized planes and buses to repatriate their citizens. We monitored African news for more details.
Across South African cities, police forces deployed to curb unrest and protests on Tuesday. They responded to violent anti-immigration sentiment. Citizen-led groups imposed an unofficial deadline on Tuesday for undocumented migrants to leave the country. Many immigrant workers have taken refuge in cities like Cape Town and Johannesburg in search for help to leave. At least 4 people were killed in anti-immigration violence in the past weeks. In response to the situation, several African governments organized repatriation and evacuation schemes to protect their citizens. 25,000 people were repatriated to their home countries in recent weeks, according to South Africa's Border Management Authority. This is not the first time that South Africa is experiencing anti-immigration violence. In 2008, 62 people were killed in riots.
Over to Peru now, where Keiko Fujimori has won Peru's presidential election by one of the narrowest margins in the country's recent history, securing the presidency with over 49,000 votes. It is her 4th bid of the office, having previously wielded considerable influence through her Popular Force Party's Congress majority. Her opponent, leftist candidate Roberto Sanchez, alleged electoral fraud over disputed ballots cast by Peruvians abroad. Fujimori, whose late father Alberto Fujimori was jailed for human rights abuses and corruption, has pledged to govern with a firm hand and restore law and order amid soaring crime rates. With a recent victory, Keiko Fujimori becomes Peru's first elected woman president and joins the ranks of about 34 women who have served as president of a sovereign nation worldwide. Al Jazeera has the scoop.
A razor-thin result, winning by just over 49,000 votes. 51-year-old Keiko Fujimori secured Peru's presidency. Electoral officials expected to declare the result later on Tuesday.
We receive this result with great responsibility, especially knowing that our country is practically divided, and we have the great responsibility to listen to both sides.
With soaring crime rates across the Andean nation, the leader of the Popular Force Party promised to restore law and order. The daughter of former President Alberto Fujimori said she will govern with a strong fist like her father. The late Fujimori was imprisoned for human rights abuses and corruption. Fujimori also appealed to Peruvians' fears, saying leftist candidate Roberto Sanchez, an heir to former President Pedro Castillo, would impose communism in Peru. Sanchez initially said he would respect the results whoever won, but as votes were contested with Fujimori leading the race, Sanchez claimed electoral fraud. He said many ballots from Peruvians abroad were not digitalized and thus manipulated. Those votes tipped the balance in favor of Fujimori. This is Keiko Fujimori's 4th bid for the presidency. Since 2016, she won a majority of seats in Congress and since then remained as one of the country's most powerful politicians, managing policy through her party's lawmakers. After news of the win, Fujimori sent a message to young Peruvians.
One should never give up trying, and throughout life one faces challenges and trials, but with effort and perseverance one can achieve their goals.
Given the close result, Fujimori will now govern millions of Peruvians who did not vote for her. But she says she'll listen to everyone. Mariana Sanchez, Al Jazeera, Lima.
In sports this evening, Morocco captain Achraf Hakimi has held his side's courage and determination after the Atlas Lions knocked out the Netherlands on penalties to book their place in the FIFA World Cup round of 16. Speaking after the dramatic victory, Hakimi said Morocco deserved to progress, praising his teammates for maintaining their belief and identity throughout the contest despite falling behind. He said the players remained committed to their style of football and were rewarded for their resilience by fighting back into the match. The Paris Saint-Germain defender also credited goalkeeper Yassine Bounou for Morocco's success in the penalty shootout, saying he was confident the team would prevail because of the shot stopper's ability in high-pressure moments. Hakimi dedicated the victory to Moroccan supporters and the African continent, thanking fans who traveled to cheer on the team and pledged to continue making them proud as the tournament progresses. Morocco defeated the Netherlands 3-2 on penalties after the match ended in a 1-0 draw in regulation time and will now face Canada in the round of 16. As we wrap up the sports news, local football, Mufulira Wanderers have completed the signing of Kenyan striker Henry Omolo Odhiambo from Kakamega Homeboys, handing the club a major boost ahead of the new season. The acquisition of the highly rated centre-forward has sparked excitement among Wanderers supporters, with several celebrations reported in parts of Mufulira, including Kankoyo, Kansuswa, as fans welcomed one of the club's most anticipated signings in recent years. Odhiambo arrives from Kenyan Premier League side Kakamega Homeboys, where he earned a reputation as a prolific goal scorer. The striker is expected to strengthen Wanderers' attacking options as the club looks to make a strong impression in the upcoming campaign. Supporters have taken to social media and the streets to express their delight, describing the signing as a statement of intent by the club's management. For more loyal fans, securing Henry Omolo Odhiambo represents renewed hope and ambition, with the expectation that the Kenyan forward will help restore the fortunes of the legendary Mufulira outfit. The club is expected to unveil the striker officially in the coming days as preparations for the new season gather momentum. As we wrap up the news this evening, we take a look at the stories that made headlines. Improved livestock movement rules to boost sector by 610 million kwacha annually. Government reaffirms commitment to strengthening school feeding program. Vice President Muntala Nalumango hails fiscal discipline under the UPND New Dawn administration. While in international news, South Africa deploys police to curb unrest as an unofficial deadline expires. While in sports, Hakimi hails Morocco's spirit after the Dutch triumph. Well, that's how we end tonight's main news. We thank you for watching. Be sure to join us for more news tomorrow. This has been Tamani Nkata from our newsroom to your hearts, the production crew, and of course the entire BMTV. Stay kind and stay informed. Good night.
New vibes with BMTV. Get ready, Zambia, because BMTV is about to bring you the hits with local stories, drama, comedy, and news that is all about you.